Okay, so last time we talk about yung dismiss the crowd. So tuloy-tuloy tayo. So last time nakita natin na it's very biblical yung principle ng the Lord. There are times na si God nagdi-dismiss ng crowd. There are times na si Lord yung mismong tinatanggal niya yung mga grupo ng tao for a specific reason. Yung crowd speaks of anything that blocks your way, or review lang to anything na pwedeng nagiging dahilan para hindi makita yung vision sa ni Lord, or anything na nagiging dahilan para nag-create siya ng para hindi ka makamove smoothly. So yun yung crowd eh. Crowd is yung siksikan, yun ang pinakaano sa Tagalog doon. So merong siksikan ng mga tao. At minsan yung mukha siyang maganda, crowd looks beautiful externally. Ibig sabihin, pag tinignan mo siya sa labas, maganda siyang tingnan. Pero, kasi marami maganda siyang tingnan. Pero internally, o inside, hindi ibig sabihin na ganun din yun. Ganun sitwasyon. Parang group picture. Sa group picture, halimbawa sa church, pag tayo pag kami kasi pag kami, kung nakasama ka na namin dati sa mga celebration ng church, maabot tayo ng 100, mga ganon. So, within every event, merong, halimbawa, youth gathering, anniversary, everybody's birthday, maabot ng 100, mga ganon. So, pag pinicture na groupie, masaya, maganda kasi madami. Pero sa dami na yun, iilan lang doon it doesn't always translate. Crowd doesn't always translate sa quality. Okay? In other words, quantity doesn't always translate to quality. Okay? Quantity doesn't equate to quality. So, diba, sa dami ng group picture doon, ilan lang ang quality doon? Ilan lang yung talagang dekalidad doon? Or, sa spiritually speaking, kung we're talking about ang disciples si Jesus Christ, ilan lang talaga doon ang disciples si Jesus Christ? Crowd doesn't necessarily mean follower of Jesus. Crowd doesn't necessarily mean committed follower or committed disciple of Jesus. Okay, so yun yung crowd. Nagalit mo na yung salamin. Okay, now next punta tayo dun sa next step. Okay, now, sabi dito, so crowd is anything na nakasanayan mong gawin. Crowd speaks of anything na nakasanayan natin gawin. Crowd speaks of paring system, anything kasanayan natin gawin, system, or something na relax tayo. Crowd could also speak ng comfort zone. Okay? Comfort zone kasi sanay ka doon na parang ang dami. And minsan, crowd din, nag-speaks din ng security natin. Kasi yung dami, sometimes nagtatranslate to sa dito, ito, nagsiserve na security ko. Or sometimes then, ang crowd nag-speaks ng parang ini-equate natin yung crowd to success. Okay? Na successful ako dito sa bagay na to. Fruitfulness, ito. So I'm doing successful things dito sa sitwasyon na to. Okay. But our view of crowd is different from the view of God. Okay? Our view of crowd is different from the view of God. Maaring sa atin, ang crowd sa atin, yung dami. Pero kay Lord, maaring ang crowd, yung 3 taong committed sa Kanya. Okay? So, it doesn't always, so, iba yung perspective ng Diyos sa perspective natin. Okay, so, parang dilim. Yan, okay. So, I hope na naunawaan natin yan. So, again, iba yung perspective ng Diyos sa perspective natin. Sabi dito, nung author, ang author pala nito si Ken Gott. Ken, tapos G-O-T-T. Okay? Sabi dito, tawag dito. Sabi, are you willing to dismiss the crowd, go back home, and start to build all over again? Parang if God commanded you, are we willing to dismiss the crowd, go back home, and start all over again? So parang that is one of the most unexpected things na pwedeng sabihin sa'yo ng Diyos. Parang, okay, leave your job, leave your work, start your ministry, pioneer something new, mag full-time ka, okay? So something na yung nakasanayan mo, yung nag-create sa'yo ng security, biglang sabihin sa'yo ng Lord, tanggalin mo, bitawan mo. Or yung mga taong konektado sa'yo, bigla sabihin ng Lord na, na hindi ka naman na nag-grow na, putulin mo, and so on and so forth. So there are these things na when God commanded us, parang nahihirapan tayong gawin or mahirap gawin kasi in the first place, dito, doon tayo nakakuha nung, ayun nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, either security, maaring inspiration, maaring friendship, and so on and so forth. Okay. So, or success, parang ganun. Sabi dito, these are not the kind of words you wanna hear. Well, these are not the kinds of you want. Siguro pinaka mahirap marinig sa isang o pinaka ayaw marinig ng isang successful na nagmi-minister na sa Lord is yung sasabihin sa kanya ng Diyos, o bitawan mo lahat ng ginawa mo at magsimula ka uli. O kaya, di ba, meron kang church na malaki na, at sasabihin sa ni Lord, o mag-church plant ka sa ibang lugar, and so on and so forth. So, isa yun sa mga, sa experience ko, nung pinabitawan yung dami ng high school, kasi dati yung ministry na in-entrust sa akin ng Lord, kaya nakaka-relate ako dito kasi, siyempre, isa ako sa naka-experience paano humawak ng, even though nakakapagod, even though nakakapagod siya, even though, tawag dito, nakaka-challenge, saka sacrificial, still yung makikita mo na meron kang ginagawa araw-araw na ministry, tapos ang dami mong minimit na mga bina-Bible study ng high school students. Diba? Tapos pagka sinusulat ko yung pangalan nila, tapos binibilang ko ilan sila nasa 200. Diba? Parang it translate na, uy, meron akong fruitful ministry. So sometimes yung ginagawa natin, pag nakita natin yung fruitfulness nun, tinatranslate natin yan na meron akong fruitful ministry o kaya effective ako sa ginagawa ko to, effective ako sa leadership ko, effective sa anything. Anything na, ano ba yung magsasabi sa'yo na effective yung ginagawa mo? Di ba? Paano masasabi effective? Maaring magaling ka mag-lead, maaring may sumusunod sa'yo, maaring may na-develop ka leaders, maaring nakikita mo yung dami ng Bible study. Ganun yung sa akin. Until such time na one day nga kinausap nga ako ni Kuya John Mac, at sabi sa akin ni Kuya John Mac, yung dati youth pastor ko, bitawan mo yung Bible study. So, sa perspective ko, wala namang mali. Kasi Bible study. Di ba? Wala namang mali. Pero, yung pala, yung Bible study, na kahit ginagawa natin para sa Diyos yun, pwede maging crowd. In other words, even the things that we are doing or seems doing for the Lord can become a crowd. Can become our crowd. Okay, take note ninyo make sure na tinitake note ninyo. Okay, become our crowd. So anong ibig sabihin ba nun? Ibig sabihin, crowd is anything that is not according to the will of God. Crowd is anything that is not according to the will of God. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, iba yung gusto mo, iba yung gusto ng Diyos. Diba? Maaaring yung gusto mo mukhang maganda sa patingin natin, pero it doesn't always translate na yun yung maganda sa mata ng Lord. Sabi ng Bible, His ways is not our ways, His thoughts is not our thoughts. Anong verse yun? Okay, doon na naman tayo. Anong verse yun? Okay, wait lang. Okay, so para lang may idea tayo. Okay, so Isaiah 55. Okay, Isaiah 55 verse 8 to 9. Okay? So, Lord, thank you, Jesus. Okay, Isaiah 55 verse 8 to 9. So, sabi dito, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways are higher than yours, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Ang problem kasi minsan, sinusubukan nating i-relate yung natin. wait lang. So anyway, so tuloy tayo. So tawag dito, ano ba yung sinasabi ko? Ayun nga, so sabi ng Lord, yung thoughts niya, yung ways niya is higher than our ways. Yung thoughts is higher than our thoughts. So isa yun sa bagay na kailangan natin maunawaan. When the Lord asks us to do something na hindi natin naiintindihan, ang kailangan natin gawin is to obey. Okay? To obey. So when the Lord asks something na hindi natin, We need to learn how to obey. So, sabi dito, tawag dito, wait lang. Sabi niya dito, ewan ko kung gusto niyo isulat Sabi dito, these are not the kind of words you wanna hear when everything seems to be going well and you appear to be riding a crest of wave of success in ministry. In other words, when the Lord commanded you to dismiss the crowd, these are not the words that we wanna hear. Ibig sabihin, anong equate when everything seems going right? Nando yung success, nando yung fruitfulness. Pag sabi dismiss the crowd, it always speaks of this word, surrender. Okay, surrender. Surrender, give up, ano pa ba? Cut ties, ano pa. So those are the things na parang leave kung ano yung nakasanayan mong gawin, whether preaching or nasa harapan ka lagi or anything. Anything that makes you the spotlight. Anything na crowd also speaks of something na hindi lang ano ginagawa mo, pero nagiging sentro kahit whether you like it or not. Pag merong crowd sa buhay mo, ikaw yung spotlight na pupunta sa iyo, whether we like it or not. Bakit? Kasi ikaw yung nakikilala eh. Bakit ba may crowd in the first place? Dahil dun sa tao na nagkukos para magkaroon ng crowd. Bakit nagkaroon ng crowd dito sa storya natin kay Jesus? Kasi nandun si Jesus. Diba? Kilala si Jesus. So, dahil sa kanya, nagkaroon ng crowd. Bakit naging fruitful ang isang ministry? Dahil sa iyo. Bakit naging sumunod yung mga tao dahil sa inyo, bakit? So, in other words, yung spotlight kahit paano napupunta sa atin whether we like it or not. The problem is, pagka everything seems going well, di ba? And everything seems going well, sasabihin sa'yo ng Lord, i-surrender mo yung crowd. It also means, surrender mo yung spotlight mo. Okay? Surrender mo yung spotlight mo. Whether that spotlight speaks of influence, for example lang. May mga Christian vlogger na maganda naman yung kanilang Christian vlogger. Okay? Christian vlog. So may mga sa Facebook may mga Christian na inspirational na maabot sila yung mga followers sila ng 100,000. So alam naman natin yan. O kahit sabihin natin 10,000 lang. So pag sa may 10,000 follower ka, ano na yun? Ride to success mo na yun. What if God will tell you, for example, kasi online ministry tayo ngayon, di ba? What if God will tell you na, okay, bitawan mo yung social media platform, tapos you start doing Bible study sa mga high school students na mga siguro 5, 7. Parang ganun, di ba? Parang, then, ikaw, meron kang 10,000 followers, tapos sabihin sa'yo, Lord, bitawan mo yung social media platform. Madali ba gawin yan? Siyempre, hindi madaling gawin yan. Kasi nakasanayan mong gawin, saka alam mo maraming sumasabay sa'yo. Pero kung talagang obedient ka kay Lord, hindi mo habol yung dami. Ang habol mo, yung quality. Ang habol mo, yung obedience. So yun ang isang example ng dismissing the crowd. Crowd could also speak of anything in our lives that should be corrected or should be transformed. So anything na in other words, ano ba yung nagiging character natin o yung sa buhay natin, sa sarili natin, na nagiging dahilan kaya hindi natin makita ng malinaw yung plano ng Lord o bakit hindi tayo makapag-obey 100% sa God o bakit napaparalyze tayo. Marami yan. Crowd could speak ng fear mo. Crowd could speak ng character na kailangan i-form sa'yo. Crowd could speak ng ikaw lang yun. Ikaw lang makakapagsabi nun or someone na nakakilala sa'yo. But crowd is anything that blocks your vision, that paralyze you from your movement. Kasi pag may crowd, di ka makalakad ng maayos. Strict, paralyze sila. Ano yan? Basta parang pinapahirapan ka. Sa English, ini-strict yung movement mo. Constrict yung movement mo. Crowd could speak also not only something that blocks your vision, blocks your way. Yan, blocks your way also. So, hindi ka maka-breakthrough kasi merong crowd. So, it could sasara natin buhay. So, what is that? Diba? So, dami palang ibig sabihin ng crowd. Okay. When God commanded you to do something, okay? When God commanded us to do something, it will sink in our heart with an uneasy feeling. Okay? When God commanded you or instructed us to do something that we don't want, that we do not want, it will sink, it will create an uneasy feeling. It will create an uneasy feeling. Okay, so totoo? Diba totoo? Diba? Pero sabi ng Bible, God looks at the heart, not at the things na ginagawa natin externally. So sometimes, yung ginagawa natin, it gives us the sense of satisfaction. It gives us the sense of accomplishment. Diba? Alam mo yun, pag nakikita mo yung bunga ng ginagawa mo, satisfied ka. So, nung pinasabi sa'yo ni Lord na, o kaya pag nakakausap mo yung mga taong kailangang kausapin, o kaya nakakonect ka sa mga dapat connect, alam mo yung basta nagbibigay sa'yo ng satisfaction, yung parang feeling mo nagkikreate ng identity mo. And sometimes, yung crowd, yun na mismo yung nagiging identity natin. Okay? Which is, hindi ganun ang way ng Lord. The crowd is not our identity. Our obedience to God is our identity. Okay? Ulitin natin yun. Hashtag yun. The crowd in our lives is not our identity. Our obedience to God should be our identity. Okay, so like sinabi ko kanina, crowd could speak ng success, crowd could speak ng tao, crowd could speak ng character, crowd could speak of a lot of things. Okay? So that's one of the reason bakit nagkakaroon ng uneasy feeling kasi ayaw natin yung sinasabi sa atin. Diba? And that's a proof na yung ayaw mo yung sinasabi sa'yo, that's a proof na one of the proof na sinasabi sa'yo ni Lord. Okay? Whether we like it or not. Okay? Okay, you wanna know the voice of the Lord? You wanna know the voice of God? You wanna hear the voice of the Lord? Okay. Wanna know kung paano nagsasabi? Tingin sa akin, natin mo tingin sa akin. Okay. Wanna know paano nag-i-speak si Lord sa'yo, sa atin? Tawag dito, plain and simple, tawag dito, uneasy feeling. Whenever God speaks to someone, especially when God directed or instructed us, there's always this uneasy feeling. Kala natin, di ba, parang when the Lord instructed us, pero in the Bible, if you're going to read the Bible, doon muna tayo sa uneasy feeling. If you're going to read the Bible, totoo yun, yung uneasy feeling. Karamihan o malaking percentage sa Bible, laging kung ikaw yung nasa sitwasyon nila, kung ilalagay mo yung paa mo sa sitwasyon ng mga binigyan ng instruction ng Lord, hindi laging ganun kadali. Laging meron ditong kasama ng word ng uneasiness. Laging halimbawa, yung sinabi ni Jesus na kay Peter, come and follow me, kailangan niyang iwan yung fishes na yun na sobrang dami ng harvest. Ano kayo naramdaman niya? Nung inutusan ng Lord si Paul na to become a missionary, di ba? So, sabi ni Paul, kailangan niya mamatay sa sarili niyang desire, sa kanila yung dami niya kailangan i-give up. So, yung sinabi lang na ito yung word sa akin, yung sinabi ni Lord kay Abraham, isuko si Isaac. So, there was this always uneasiness, di ba? There was always uneasiness, uneasy feeling when God commanded you to do something. The question is why? Bakit may uneasiness? Bakit may ganung pakiramdam? Pag nag-i-speak si Lord, especially, doon mo mako-confirm na, Pastor, anong ibig sabihin ng uneasiness? Kontra, kumukontra ka. Yun. Okay, kumukontra ka. Yun. Kasi, that equates if you really trust the Lord. Kasi it's easy for us to say, I trust you, God. O, take note of it, okay? It's easy for us to say that we trust the Lord. But the question is, how much do we trust Him? How much? Yun yung term. How much do we trust Him? Uneasiness doesn't sometimes akala natin we really trust the Lord or we really have a faith in God. Dinideclare natin with our words na, Lord, I believe in you and so on and so forth and love you and breakthrough. So, ganon Ganon natin But in reality, when God tests our hearts, ang tanong is, kaya ba nating sumunod sa kabila ng uneasiness na yun? Kasi God, hindi, ang ano ng Lord, hindi yung words na lumalabas. Wait lang medyo pause. Wala. Sige, tuloy tayo. Okay. So, ano na yung word ko? Yung uneasiness. Okay, yung trusting the Lord. Okay. So, then that's why what's important to the Lord is not the words that's coming out from our lips saying, Lord, I trust you. But what's matter to God is what's really inside our heart. If we really trust Him with all our heart. Diba? Yun eh. It's not about the words. It's about the heart. So tuloy natin. That's why God, there are times or hindi times eh. There are seasons lang. There are seasons in our lives that God will require us to dismiss the crowd. That God will require us to dismiss the crowd. Diba? So, bakit laging ginagawa ng Diyos yun? Bakit hindi laging pataas? Bakit hindi pwedeng mag-build ng mag-build ng mag-build? Kasi mas importante sa Diyos, yung sino ka at yung relationship mo sa Kanya kesa kung anong ginagawa mo para sa Kanya. Okay? Uy, hashtag yun Okay. Kasi yung relationship mo sa Kanya ang magde-determine ng ginagawa natin para sa Kanya. Hindi yung ginagawa natin para sa Kanya magde-determine ng relationship natin sa Kanya. Okay? Okay ba yun? Ibig sabihin, yung relationship natin sa Kanya, yung ginagawa natin para sa karya ng Diyos, ay overflow lang ng relationship natin sa Kanya. So kung gaano katatag yung relasyon na yon at ang isang good sign ng relasyon na yon is yung trust natin kay Lord. Kung gaano katatag yun, ganoon din katatag yung anumang bagay na gagawin natin para sa Kanya. That's why God will always take note of this. Okay, Ate Mon, pag inaanto kayo, ano kayo ha? Okay. That's why God will always do everything in order to strengthen yung word na trust natin sa Kanya. Strengthen. Okay? Strengthen. So, yung word na trust is equate sa word na faith. Okay? Word na trust ay equate sa word na faith. Okay? So, when tapos ito yung parang parallel. Okay? If you obey the Lord, fully obeying God, it means you are really having faith in Him. It means you are fully trusting Him. Yan. That's opposite is the same. We cannot obey the Lord. It means we are not really we are not fully having faith in Him, and we're not really trusting Him. Ganun lang kasimple yun. Okay? Anong dahilan? Bakit hindi ka nag-obey? Kasi ayaw mo. Bakit ayaw mo? Kasi ibig sabihin, hindi ganun buo yung faith mo sa Panginoon. Hindi ka talaga nagtitiwala na mas alam niya yung ginagawa niya kaysa sa iyo o kaysa sa atin. Diba? Pero pwede mong kontrahin yun. Hindi naman ganyan yun. Hindi naman ganito yun. You can make justifications and so on and so forth. We can make justifications, but in reality, yun eh. Okay? Ayan, nandito. Okay, binabasa ko lang yung book. This is reality. This is true sa aking buhay, sa personal kong buhay, sa personal nating ministry as a church, o kahit sa personal kong ministry, sa ministry ng ibang tao, nangyayari to. Okay. Pero Tagalog na, hindi ko alam kung anong English ito eh. Okay. But be assured, sulat natin to, be assured na when you obey God, or when you trust the Lord, or when you dismiss the crowd, yun na lang. Be assured that when you dismiss the crowd, you are not going to lose. But instead, you are going to win. Okay? So, ulitin natin yan. But be assured that when you dismiss the crowd, it is not losing, but in reality, you are winning. So, parang ang labo. Siguro dito tayo mag-end. Parang ang labo. May sinabi si Jesus. Sabi ni Jesus, sabi niya, ito yung verse na gusto kong ibigay sa inyo. Sabi niya, wait lang. Nahanap ko eh. Yung sabi ni Jesus na unless a kernel, if you wanna live, you need to die on yourself, okay? So, nakalimutan ko yung ano, or sabi ni Jesus, ito na, unless a kernel of seed dies on the ground, it will remain a seed. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? So, ibig sabihin, wait lang. Okay, so Bible verse natin ay John 12:24. Ayan, John 12:24. Sabi sa John 12:24, basahin natin. Sabi dito, very truly I tell you, unless a kernel of wheat falls on the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. So, sa Tagalog, unless ang buto ay mamatay, manatili itong isang buto, pero pag namatay ito'y dadami. So, ganun din. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ang ibig sabihin nun is, sometimes when the Lord commanded us to dismiss the crowd, it also speaks ng word na to, dying. Dying to self. Dying to self. Dying to your dreams, dying to your desire, dying to your friendship, dying to everything na nakasanayan natin, dying. Problem is, we do not wanna die. Okay? Sabi nga ni tawag dito, maraming may isang pastor nagsabi, nakalimutan ko sino. Sabi, maraming gustong pumunta ng langit. Kaya gusto mamatay. Parang gano'n. So, parang gano'n. So literal na ano yun na we're talking here. But maraming gustong makita na gumalaw ang Panginoon sa buhay nila. Marami tayong gusto makita na ma-encounter natin si Lord, makita yung breakthrough, marami tayong ganun eh. Pero we don't want to die, especially kung meron security, meron na tayong secure na tayo. We don't want to die the things na nakasanayan natin. Okay? Dying doesn't only necessarily mean kailangan yung mga sinful things sa buhay natin. Sometimes even the good things, the spiritual things, the fruitful things. Sometimes those are the things na pinapatay sa atin ni Lord. Remember, si Isaac, istorya ni Isaac. Si Isaac is a promise person. What if the Lord told you, let my promise, surrender yung promise na yun, surrender mo yung pangako na yun. So parang, it's hard, di ba? Parang, okay, wait lang, sandali Lord. Parang, wait lang, sandali, pangako mo to Okay. Di ba? Doon kasi tinitingnan ng Lord. Kaya nga sabi nga na nung pinasuko dito na mag-end, yung pinasuko ni Lord si Isaac kay Abraham, hindi naman na alam, kasi tayo binabasa na natin, kaya alam natin yung istorya. Pero sa panahon na yun, hindi naman alam ni Abraham ano yung mangyayari pag sinuko niya si Isaac. Hindi naman niya, wala siyang idea, di ba? So put your shoes kay Abraham. So he is obeying. Pero tao siya, tatay siya, may pangako. Binigyan ng Diyos yung pangako sa kanya. So, mahirap yun. Habang naglalakad siya papalapit dun sa place of sacrifice, pabigat ng pabigat yung paa maaari ni Abraham at maaaring hindi niya naiintindihan at maaaring talagang, Lord, sandali lang, are you willing? And so on and so forth. Parang siguro sa heart niya, nagko-contemplate siya kung andun yung full obedience niya eh. Pero sa heart niya, siguro ino-overcome yung emotion niya. No-overcome yung emotion niya, no-overcome niya kung ano yung nararamdaman niya that time. Di ba? And hindi niya alam, wala siyang idea. Pero he obeyed. Yung mukhang talo siya. Di ba? Yun yung sinabi ko sa inyo. Mukhang talo. When the Lord asked us to dismiss our crowd, ang naging crowd ni Abraham, si Isaac. Bakit? Kasi napunta yung attention ni Abraham kay Isaac eh. Ngayon, nung tawag dito, dumating yung point na yon, pinasuko ng Lord, tapos to make the story short, ang nating istorya na because of the obedience of Abraham, naging naging father of nation siya. So to make the story short, yung mukhang talo si Abraham dahil nag-obey siya sa Lord, actually, yung pala yung pintuan niya para magkaroon siya ng totoong breakthrough. And parang ito lang yung principle nito. As we end. Sulat nyo na lang to. Take note of this. Okay? Make sure to take note of this. What seems a closed door, or what seems a door that is being closed by God. Okay? What seems a door that is being closed by God is actually a gate that is being opened by the Lord. Okay. Ulitin natin, okay? Take note of that, okay? Holy Spirit. I believe galing sa Holy Spirit yan. Okay. So, tinusulat niyo ba? Okay. Sige. Ulitin natin. Sabi dito, okay, what seems a close that is being closed by the Lord is actually a grand gate that is being opened up for you. Okay. So ano mas malaki? Yung door o yung gate? Diba? Ano mas malaki? So hindi lang pala sinasara ng Panginoon yung door, pero ang binubuksan niya, gate. So that's another term na gusto nating ilagay sa umagang ito. So doon tayo mag-e-end. So I hope na nakuha niyo yung pinaka-principle ng dismissing the crowd. This is something na very essential sa Christian. Again, tulad ng sabi kanina, mas importante sa Diyos ang obedience natin kaysa kung anong ginagawa natin para sa Kanya. He doesn't care if God, in the Bible, it was proven. So let's go in the Bible. So when the Lord instructed me to give up yung youth ministry, when the Lord instructed me to give up yung lahat of things sa Kanya, hindi yung madali. Okay? Never ko nakita yung, balibak sa example, tingin kayo sa akin, Mau, tingin ka nga dito. Okay. Okay, so make sure na take down notes niyo kasi tuturo niyo yan. I-relay niyo yan sa mga wala dito. By the way, yun pala, isa yung sa responsibilidad natin. Okay? So hindi naman lahat nanonood eh. Hindi nanonood ng YouTube kahit ang sinabi ko na i-upload ko sa YouTube, hindi naman lahat nanonood, unfortunately. Okay, now, tawag dito. Isa yun sa bagay na gusto ko maintindihan natin. When God instructed me to give up yung tinatag na high school, so I'm relating this sa high school ministry in 2010, kung saan ko nakilala sila, Timao si Ate Che. Okay. Actually, hindi 2010 yung Bible study ko nag-start. It was 2009. So, I am referring doon technically sa 2009 na Bible study. 2009 to 2010. Hindi sa 2010-2011 onwards. Okay, so magkaiba yun eh. Para rin ma-inform si Claire sa Kasela. Sa 2010 ko nakilala si Ate Che. Sa 2010 ko nakilala si Ate Mau. Okay, 2010-2011 yung Bible study namin time na yun. Pero meron akong Bible study. Yung nire-refer ko 200 students na Bible study, that was 2009. 2009-2010. So when the Lord instructed me to give up yung Bible study na yun, yung dami na Bible study na yun, yung time na yun, parang sinasara niya yung pintuan. God is closing the door para sa high school ministry, sa campus ministry ng oras na yun. Siyempre, yung year na yun, hindi ko naman nakikita na 3 years after that, 3 years ba? 4 years. Around 4 years after that, maglilid ako ng church. So parang yung sinarang pintuan, hindi mo nakikita na one day, mag-start ka ng simbahan, Mike, magpapastor ka, and so on and so forth. So let's parang okay, we obey. And so to make the story short, sige, sinara yung pintuan. Tapos fast forward tayo. Anong binuksan ng Lord? Gate. Bakit? Kasi hindi na Bible study yung in-entrust niya sa akin. Ano na? Simbahan na. So, mukha siyang siguro sa mata ko o kaya sa mata ng panahon na yun. Lord, nakaka-demote naman to. Para bakit okay ng Bible study? Pero actually, mas malaking entrustment, it's a promotion to the Lord. Mas malaking responsibilidad, it's a promotion to God. Dumarating yung time na yun. So when the Lord called me as a pastor, not knowing na pagdating ng 2010, karamihan sa kanila, sila yung nakasama ko na mag-start ng church. So ngayon lang nag-sink in sa akin. Wala akong na Bible study ng 2009 to 2010 na kasama natin nag-start ng simbahan. Lahat nag-start ng 2010. Okay? So nandun. So that's the story. That's the story. So may gate na binubuksan si Lord. Ngayon, parang sa sitwasyon natin ngayon, siguro babuli ko lang to 1 minute. Okay? Parang may sinasarang pintuan o may nakasarang pintuan. Pero may binubuksang gate. Parang, okay, may saradong pintuan, so we're starting again. O, yung navigator ayaw magpagamit, and so on and so forth. Pero may binubuksang gate. Anong gate na yun? Maaaring, pag dumating na yung house of worship, masasabi natin, Lord, ito yung gate. Ito yung malaking gate na binuksan mo. Pag dumating yung dami ng influence, yung body of Christ, Lord, ito yung malaking gate. Pero isa sa malaking gate na binuksan ng Diyos during this pandemic, sa church natin, sinara mo yung church na kung saan physically makapag-minister kami. Binuksan niyo yung gate na ngayon gumagalaw tayo sa healing. So nandun na tayo sa ministry ng healing. Nasabi ko sa loob ng 7 years last year na simbahan, yung dami ng testimonies na receive natin sa healing, nahigitan na yung 7 years na yun. Sa loob lamang ng less than 1 year. And that's the story na andun si Lord when you obey, di ba? So, yun. So, doon tayo mag-end. So, I hope na this become a blessing sa atin.